What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we are back in Destiny 2 for a mid-season weekly reset, and of course it's August 25th, so I think players are curious to see if anything unexpected turns up. And initially we have the seasonal content, so we'll see if any of the interference secrets are ready to reveal themselves at the end of the mission. We'll touch on the weekly quest and the usual stuff there, but otherwise Solstice of Heroes continues for a couple more weeks, so we'll cover some fixes and relevant info, and then, as always, we have our activities, vendors, and rewards to take a look at for the week. So guys, if you do enjoy the video, a rating down below really helps me out, but without further delay, we should jump straight into it. So here we are, loading in to Season of Arrivals once again, and we can see that we've got the means to an end quest popping up in the milestone trace, so that's going to be a thing as always, but in terms of other kind of unexpected things, for the moment, we don't have anything showing up in the game, but specifically the continuation of the evacuation quest and the exotic portion of that is something we're anticipating fairly soon. And otherwise for now, we'll have to see what the interference mission for this week holds, and of course, we'll need to pick up the quest for it at the Prismatic Recaster. I'll keep you posted if anything crazy happens, but Contact this week is going to be over on Titan. And for the Recaster weekly bounties we can see, we need to complete matches inside of the Crucible, so there's 3 of those, and then a show of power to defeat opposing Guardians with supers in Gambit or the Crucible, which should be pretty easy to get done, of course, in PvP. Otherwise for Arrivals, of course the Prophecy Dungeon Pinnacle drop has reset for the week. But with us being in the middle of the Solstice event for this year, let's take a quick look at the Eververse Store. And as always, we've got the silver items available on the front page right here. But there is the Bright Dust section as well. And we've got the Oiled Algae shader, as well as the Flamingo projection. And then we've got the Catching Rays emote, which I'm not sure if that's a brand new one or one from last year right there. But you can pick it up for Bright Dust on the front page. And then we've also got the Sweltering Heat emote and our consumables. But for the main Bright Dust page, we do have the Micro Mini featured for this week, so if you didn't pick that one up, you can do it for Bright Dust. 2,500 Bright Dust right there. But we've also got the Edge of the World's ship, and then we've got the Silly Handshake multiplayer emote, as well as the Flick of the Wrist emote, the On Gilt-Wing Sparrow, which is the one for Solstice this year, available for Bright Dust again right there. And then we've got the Digital Ops ornament for the Minor Multi-Tool, as well as the Triumphant projection. And then we have the Warsat Arrival, the Sandcastle effects, and the Beach Ball effects. But then we've got Welded Brass, Bruised Blush, Vintage Timber, and Pomegranate Gloss for the shaders this week. Now the Solstice of Heroes event will continue for a couple more weeks. Bear in mind that last week Bungie fixed the issue where the Solstice bounties weren't dropping Bright Dust, so you can get 200 Bright Dust dropped per weekly bounty and then 10 per the daily bounties or the repeatables, so possibly something to farm out before we get to Festival of the Lost and of course Beyond Light in the fall. Kind of an opportunity to restock at least a little bit, and Bungie still are planning to reward players with Bright Dust from previously turned in bounties, so I'll keep you posted on that. And otherwise, if you're curious about the powerful drop for the European Aerial Zone, that challenge should now be working as intended. Now let's get on to our other Pinnacle drops, so of course there will be the playlist Pinnacles, but otherwise we're headed to the moon, where this week we've got the Nightmare Hunt's Isolation, as well as Servitude and Pride right there. But don't forget that the Pit of Heresy still drops Pinnacle gear, as well as the Garden of Salvation, and the challenge for this week will be To the Top. The Nightfall ordeal this week is going to be inside of the Garden World. That could be a pretty fun one on Grandmaster, especially at the final boss, so good luck if you do jump in. But otherwise, we have the standard Nightfalls. This week, we've got Strange Terrain. This can drop the Braytech Osprey. We also have Will of the Thousands, and this can drop the Worm God Incarnation, as well as Broodhold, which doesn't have an exclusive drop. But as a quick heads up, I believe we're going to be getting a Braytech Osprey dropped inside of the Evacuation Quest Part 2, which we should be getting in a couple of weeks, so if it's an exclusive drop you're hunting down, then it's one we'll have a bit more access to shortly. Mayhem and Breakthrough are going to be featured Crucible modes this week, as well as Trials returning at the daily reset on Friday. But if you're a Year 1 Leviathan Raider in the Prestige Raid Lairs, we do have modifiers of Prism, and then Arms Master requiring a kinetic hand cannon, a sniper rifle in the energy slot, and anything in the power slot. Also on Nessus there is the Menagerie. In the normal mode this week we have Arcsinge, Blackout, and Grenadier for the modifiers, but Heroic comes with Extinguish, Grenadier, Famine, and Solar Singe. Finally, if you are curious about Reckoning drops for this week, the Likeness of Arx is going to be the boss, so Spare Rations, Bug Out Bag, Outlast, Gnawing Hunger, and Doomsday will be the featured weapon drops. And then we move over to the Escalation Protocol, where Neurobath, the Crest of Zol, will be the boss, and that one can randomly drop the Ikelos shotgun, as well as 2.0 armor when you take them down. But if you are still completing any of the Forsaken content in the game, then this week's Ascendant Challenge will be the Forfeit Shrine, which is accessed via the Garden of Isilla. Also this week could be a good shout if you have any kind of elemental orbs, kills and things like that to collect and get done. It's technically possible to farm the Well of Light at the end of the challenge this week, and I'm sure some folks will potentially cover that one. But otherwise, if you're running the Forsaken content, the location for that one will run at the end of the video. And otherwise for today, that is everything that we have to speak about in the reset, guys. This week I will be keeping you posted with any news and updates. Of course, we have Gamescom later this week, so be sure to get tuned in here on the channel. But if you've enjoyed the video today, a rating down below very much helps me out. Let us know if you're still working on your Solstice armor or any stuff inside of Destiny 2. I appreciate you tuning in as always though, and I hope you have an awesome week.
Down. Guardian down. Guardian down.